Phenomena.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Hi everybody.
Welcome back to another week of What We Learned This Week.
What we learned. It's a week.
Money.
This is episode 40.
7. 6. No, 7.
6?
I think
40,000. We've been doing this for
40,000 years. Is it 46?
I think it's 40. It's either 46 or 47.
Damn.
I'm almost positive. I feel like
We're
did
getting
45
old.
last time.
We're getting old. Yeah, this might be 46 or 47.
I mean, I'm definitely aging on this podcast.
Oh yeah, my beard's getting longer. My hair's getting longer.
I'm actually getting more youthful. I'm like Benjamin Button. You know,
Benjamin.
pretty soon you're gonna get like a high chair.
But
here
your
for me.
shirt don't have any buttons on it.
Because I am the button.
I
so.
am the button. Why do they call it Benjamin Button disease? I'm just wondering why they call it Benjamin Button disease.
Wasn't that the guy's actual name?
Yeah, that's his name in the movie.
His last name was Button.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's a real disease, isn't it?
No. No.
Yeah.
Well, there's
Yeah, it is. Oh, good
there
point.
is a disease that like they're like when babies are born, they have like arthritis and they have like, and I'm sure that's where they took reference from.
Benjamin Button ain't real,
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, come on.
Were you
man.
reverse
Come
in age,
Bro.
You start off as
you
you're
just
born as
look.
an
You
old
just
man.
look
You
old.
start as-
You just look old. That's what I'm saying. Like,
All babies look old, man.
Oh,
They're
no,
aliens.
I know what you're talking about, but that's like where you age super fast. That's the exact opposite of Benjamin Button disease.
Because there are babies that are born with like arthritis and like
progeria. Syndrome is the term for a group of disorders that causes rapid aging in children. That's the one I was.
That's the
thinking.
exact opposite. Yeah, Benjamin
That's
Button
just
is
what I
the
was
Brad Pitt movie where he is
Yeah.
born an old man and reverses in age all the way back to a baby.
Into a baby.
Let me
okay.
Into a fetus.
Yeah, that's a different one.
Yeah,
that's weird.
but his last
Anyways, welcome back to the podcast. We're already off to a great start.
Yeah.
This week's episode is going to be a fun one.
It will.
We're getting a little philosophic on this one. I think we've done this before,
Itty bitty.
like the little philosophic
But I always
bits.
appreciate talking about this stuff.
But
though.
this one's
It's good topics to talk
Yeah,
about.
and this one's going to be a little bit more like direct. We got the notes. We know what we're talking about. We got our topics.
Yes.
We just don't know what our answers are to those topics yet. Which
And
is
you'll
the best
find them
part.
out.
You gonna find them out.
Find them out.
Oh, on this week's episode of What We Learned This Week. Also, before we get started, don't forget, go to the Patreon, patreon.com.
Get in there, man.
/WWLTW podcast. Go join one of the tiers, get you some free
Check
shit.
it out, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
or
Maybe-
don't, you know,
or
whatever.
don't.
No.
But you know, at least if
Do
you
it.
don't, if you don't do that, at least go to our YouTube, like and subscribe there, because you know you have to.
And
You
it's
gotta like,
definitely
you gotta
appreciated.
subscribe.
It's always appreciated.
And then you get to know, hit that little bell button, because then you get to know when our new videos come out. You get to know when we go live. You get to know when we come out with a new skit, like the one that we came out with a couple weeks ago, which you should go watch. What else? Go check out our merchandise. We got mugs with our mugs on it right here. It's right here. It's a mug with our mugs on it. Look, they work. They don't leak. They're great.
There's no holes in the bottom.
There's no holes.
You know?
These are
They're
real,
not
only on the top.
guys. These
Yeah.
are real coffee mugs. I'm being honest. The real
didn't just
coffee
shave
mugs
out
With
a
real
cylinder.
coffee.
Yeah,
in the
there's
middle.
actual coffee in there.
We're not gonna ship
We
you the
don't
coffee,
supply the
though.
coffee, but you
That'd
can
be dangerous.
put the good coffee in there.
Screw it. We're gonna start selling our own coffee.
Fuck it.
Let's do it.
We're gonna have What We Learned This Week coffee brand. It's happening now.
What we brewed this
What we brewed this week.
Coming to the website soon. What we brewed this week.
What we coffeed this week.
Wouldn't it be what we roasted this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, what we roasted this week.
That's gonna be for when we start our dispensary. So
True.
No,
Yeah.
that's what we that's what we smoked this week. Yeah, we've got a whole line of things that's coming into play here, guys. Don't you worry.
what we illegally imported this week.
My brand. What we married this
Go
week.
to our go to our website and check out our brand.
My brand.
Oh, my brand.
Oh God. What else? What else do I have to plug before we get this shit show on the road?
You got the
Anything
Patreon.
else?
You got the
merch,
YouTubes.
The YouTube.
The Facebook
Go like us on
buttons.
Facebook because
Yes.
we're trying road to 1K. Hashtag road to 1K.
Still
We're getting
trucking,
there.
man.
We're
Still
getting there.
trucking.
You know what I'm saying? Just help us out a little bit.
One step at a
Share us.
time.
If we post some, share it up. Let your
Dude.
friends see all the fun that's coming to a house near you.
Send a link to your mother.
It's us. Also, we're all wearing very
Yeah.
similar colors.
Tell
Which
Susan.
is
Yeah, we
hilarious.
felt like being cute today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're cute people. We gotta get some more T-shirts for the groups.
Yeah.
Because we have T-shirts, but you don't have.
I don't have a T-shirt,
mean,
but I also need to
Sure.
order like an extra large, so I might not be able to go through Teespring. So
oh no,
I mean like
we'll get
extra
you
tall,
one.
extra tall. I mean,
yeah, I know.
We'll get you one,
We
baby.
we purposefully found.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you all know, we added certain merchandise to the website for T-shirts just so people had an option for big and tall.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
Well, dope.
There's only certain ones that do it, and we added those ones just for the big and talls.
Because there is something in the
'Cause we
water
have a big and
here in
tall.
Wisconsin which allows us to grow much larger than
Nah,
most
it's in the
people.
titty milk. It's in the titty milk. Oh shit! All right. Well, I think that's everything
Yeah.
that I needed to bring up in the
Out the
very
gate.
beginning. I think so.
Yeah.
Should we go ahead? Should
Might
we
as well.
start this up?
Might as
Let's
well.
get on a roll. All right, ready. First question for you guys. Is
Yes.
beauty in the eye of the beholder, or are there some things that are just intrinsically beautiful? What do you think?
Ooh.
Let's go. I already know my answer to this.
I think.
I think it's kind of contextual, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think personally,
And we're not just talking people; we're talking anything.
just anything. Yeah.
Anything.
Just anything in this existence.
Anything.
I think that there is a universal beauty
Mm-hmm.
that can be found everywhere, but I guess it's all based on perspective. So-
I think there's things that like everyone can look up at the stars at night and see
Oh,
the
for
Milky
sure.
Way galaxy and go,
For sure.
"That's fucking beautiful."
But it
Everyone can
There
do
is that, but I feel like people resonate with that differently, though.
Yeah.
It's
so-
not about the resonation
Mhm.
of it. It's not about what your thought process of it. It's is there beauty in it? Because
Oh, yeah.
people are going to have
Yeah.
different feelings towards certain things, obviously, but you have to find you're going to overarchingly it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Like even if you go, "That's fucking terrifying. That's just space up there." You still go, "That's fucking beautiful though."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
No. So
I think that's something that's intrinsically beautiful.
Yeah, I would have to say if we're getting really specific, like stars or space, or I'd have to say like cherry blossoms.
Yeah.
Cherry blossoms are like, I think those are one of those things that like you look at, you can recognize right away as like a symbol of beauty, or like,
Yeah.
you know.
What about the golden ratio? Like you guys remember learning about that in math? Like the golden ratio of people?
Mm-hmm.
Like do we think that that's a real thing?
You want
Like-
to explain the golden ratio?
Yeah. So the golden ratio, it's basically a mathematical equation that it's basically perfect symmetry, right? Yeah, it's perfect symmetry. And they say that people that have the golden ratio as a person, they are some of the most beautiful people. And I don't have any examples of it, but I know
can
that
pull
they've
some up.
given some examples of
Yeah.
I don't
know.
the golden ratio people.
I'd have to
and
see
I think
because
you can apply the golden ratio to anything.
everything, yeah.
Yeah. So like a butterfly. A butterfly
When cut down the
most
middle,
of the time
if everything is symmetric.
yeah, it's perfectly symmetrical.
Yeah. So
And isn't there exact measurements for people too on the golden ratio? I think
there
there's
might
like
be.
exact measurements.
yeah, it says that the golden beauty ratio is approximately 1.618 if the distance between certain regions in the face. Hold on a sec, that's weird.
Because it's like specific numbers.
All right,
For
so-
golden ratio of beauty is specific numbers.
You have to be within a specific
Ratio.
ratio, like within 1.6 percent ratio.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And
So,
it's like a whole line
perfect symmetry.
artwork. So, but like, is that intrinsically beautiful, or is that
I think that's
is that
intrinsically because
eye in the beholder?
I think that's definitely the eye of beholder. I mean, that's all personal preference too.
Yeah, that's what I think.
You know.
Well, fuck, I must look like Quasimodo. Shit.
I was gonna say because I've
Bring
got
up
some
somebody.
fucking,
Bring up like an example of someone who has a golden ratio to see like because
Yeah.
I'm curious like
Well, that's tough.
because there's some
I mean-
people
No.
Yeah, she's one of the examples, but
her nose
Yeah, well, see, and that's where
Right?
this rolls in,
Butter
dude. Is
nose.
like
Right?
the first thing I was like, okay, that's
but
like
she's got a long nose.
it's the long nose
and skinny.
and the tip is like super fucking tiny.
I don't know. So
Because then I picture
Angelina Jolie,
I picture
she's the perfect ratio,
which I
but
can.
some people think she looks like a skeleton.
Really?
I don't.
And
I think she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it also depends on which Angelina Jolie.
All of them.
Catherine Zeta-Jones,
Yes.
Yeah.
which I'm super down with. So
Okay, so this is just us saying yes or no to female
Right.
models.
now we're just
And
going
we're-
on
yeah,
like
as if
symmetry
we're
Tinder.
everyone in the
Yeah.
world that can decide
Yeah,
if this is
no.
in the beholder or not.
On
We're just three
personal
horny
levels.
20-some-year-old dudes. That's what we think.
Yeah. Well, I've also had a huge crush on Catherine Zeta-Jones
Yeah.
since literally ever. So.
That's how I am with Angelina
So
Jolie.
I
man.
think I think for certain, if we're talking universally, I think it's definitely it's a natural. There's a natural beauty.
There's something much more satisfying about looking at something that's exactly the same on both sides. Like if you were to look at a tree that was one side was completely fucking barren and dead, and the other was live and flourishing, that would throw you off. Versus an entire tree being at full fucking,
full mast.
Yeah,
like me.
Always.
On this show.
Awesome.
At all times.
Whatever helps motivate you, bud.
I don't know what you're all surprised about. You're the one that has to feel it.
I'm gonna
Across the room.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. No, I think there's cold natural beauty, definitely.
You cold?
Uncomfortable.
Oh shit.
No, there definitely,
my symmetry's all off.
There definitely is a natural beauty, and I think that's really taken for granted. Not to like kind of get deeper on it, but I think that people don't really notice because I mean it almost falls into that category of the background of monotony. So you're going through the motions every fucking day, and I'm just speaking as an assumption for the larger populace. You go through your motions, your commute to and from work. You're seeing the same fucking trees, the same buildings, the same bushes, the same little patches of fucking grass on your sidewalk.
Yeah.
God damn it, I can't sneeze. Go ahead.
You lose that beauty in that blur of going through that same fucking area every day, whereas some people can sit and fucking stare for hours. Yeah. And I think just that base appreciation has been lost.
Fact, I think you're kind of leading into our next topic here, which is like certain things that we take for granted. And I think that's definitely one of them. Like there was a book I read, actually speaking of books, we should talk about our skills soon too. But there's a book I read and it was called Mindfulness and being more, it's called Mindfulness, the art of being more present or something like that. And one of the big topics that the guy talks about, like a practice that you should try is that when you're driving your normal route to work, try and look around and catalog things that you see because you just go into robotic mode and you forget. You just don't even pay attention to what's going on around you, and you could be missing a million different things that are happening, because you're just not you just go into robot mode, which is fine. Our brains are meant to do that. Our brains are meant to notice patterns and go, okay,
this is it.
Now
start sequence C.
And thank God for that, because otherwise you'd have to literally think about breathing, walking, blinking, like everything. So thank God our brains have auto mode. But it's like you also, it makes time go fast. You look back and go, wow, that year went really quick. Well, because most of the year you were working. And what do you do when you work? You get deep work done, but you're going into auto mode. You know what I mean? You're not paying attention to anything else. And that's the same thing with vacations. It's sensory overload. And you do all this stuff, but you're not really experiencing it.
You're not enjoying it because
you're just going from one place to the other.
Yeah. See, that's the exact opposite of the book that I just read, which is the top one on that list over there.
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Yep. I love that one. Love that. It's a good one. I think, so things that we take for granted, that's definitely one of them is our daily commutes, our daily lives. We definitely take that for granted. Yeah. My big one that I think leads into that too, that people take for granted is, and this kind of probably plays into because I'm going on vacation next week. But I think like vacations, people take that shit for granted. Not everybody gets to experience the world. And when people do go places, like Disney World is a perfect fucking example. I have a disdain for Disney World. I think it's great, but I have a disdain for that place because it's just a bunch of fucking people there that go, oh, I went to Disney World. They're not experiencing anything. It's like they have this sensory overload where they're like, have to go here, have to go here, have to go here, have to go here.
To see all the sights,
gotta go see this, gotta go see this, gotta go take pictures here, gotta go. Put the fucking phone down. Just enjoy where you're at. Just look at everything. Like, I can't tell you how many, like, I've been to Disney World before, and it's just like, good luck walking by people and not running into someone because they're just down here looking at this, looking at this.
This is too much.
It's like, Jesus, just get off your fucking phone and enjoy what's going on around you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Well, that's definitely changed over time, too.
Well, that's just tourism in general,
yeah,
though.
But I think, I think, like, that's
really.
why I don't like going to touristy places because there's all these people that do that shit. And I've ran into that debate before, too, where, like, when I did my road trip, it was like, okay, well, I obviously want to take pictures because I want to have these photos that I can show other people, that I can have for myself later in life. But I also limited myself. So I would take my group of pictures and then I would put my phone away for the rest of the time that I was in that location. I was like, here's my pictures, here's my videos, whatever, and then I'm done. Now I'm just experiencing. My phone is off. I don't even paying attention to it. You know, so I have those moments, but I'm also just experiencing it. And I think people take that for granted. They go on vacation, they go, you know, I don't know, they go all these different places, and they don't realize what's fucking in front of them.
And I think that bleeds into so many different things as well, because like you see it all the time in shows. I mean, that's become like a cliche fucking thing. Progressive has an advertisement that has that. It's like 22%. They throw out some sort of percentage. It's like people watch shows through their phones, and you see it all the time. And it's like a video of this dude like dancing in a crowd, and he's just recording and he's looking through his phone at the show. But the craziest part is you get those people with that mentality that you just talked about. You're recording it for transit in time, so that you have those videos for when you want to look back at them or you want to share that memory with someone.
Take one video, then it's done, it's gone. It's put it away the rest of the time.
You can see it in crowds of people, man. They set that record, they raise their arm above their head so they can get a good view, and then they're just looking. They're not here. They're not there. You know, they're watching the show, but they're recording.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's
but
annoying.
A whole show.
Yeah, see that's excessive.
Here's my thing.
If you're doing like Snapchat or like some sort of social media,
don't
where you're
send me the whole fucking
70,
concert.
I've done that a couple of times.
Yeah, I know you have.
Really into the show.
Send me 10 seconds. That's all I need. It's gonna be because here's the problem too. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. What that person doesn't know, it sounds amazing to that person, right? But what they don't know is on Snapchat, it sounds like this.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, I don't know what the fuck is going on. What's happening?
Oh yeah,
that's my fucking jam, by the way.
Yeah.
So, I get that too.
That's actually the reason I was really excited back in the day when they announced Google Glass. I know that it failed hard, but the concept of having AR technology where that way you can still communicate with people but not have to like be staring at a phone all day was mind blowing, because it's like, imagine having this but not having to like have this in front of your face.
Yeah.
But on the same token, don't you think that could cause people to become more separated? Because like, let's say me and you are talking and I have the Google Glass on and somebody sends me a message, and if I can just reply or read it like this, now I'm not even listening to your fucking conversation.
Well, I mean, if you can if you could silence it or something, that'd be great.
Right.
Make it so like maybe it vibrates or something, so you know that there's a message, but you don't have to check it right now.
Yeah.
Like, because otherwise,
but your phone vibrate. You can put your phone on vibrate, and somebody sends you a message, and your brain goes, I need to check that like now.
Well, then
you're not really in the moment.
It's not going to be any different.
You're wondering,
right? Either you're going to have this big ass brick in your pocket telling you, "Hey, you have a message."
True.
Yeah. I think the major distinction is that you have it in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's away from your actual existence to where your reality is. So I think there could be a potential disconnect when in conversation we're like spending time with someone.
They're just right there.
It's ding ding.
Yeah.
Like it's right.
Even if you put it on
right
silent, I mean, you can put it on silent. That would be better.
Right. Which should be a mandatory
Which, Jesus
thing.
Christ, you put it in
should
silent.
have it, yeah.
Remember, like, God forbid you lose signal and you come back like a day later.
Dude, oh my God, we just had
it just
that.
happened to him.
Oh,
we
no
had
shit.
like 30
from
fucking
Wisconsin.
messages coming back from
my
like,
God.
We hit like a fucking like half
like
a
a
mile.
dead zone?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, no,
geez.
like I was dead all weekend, so totally out of service range.
Man.
And then we hit this little fucking spike in signal, and just ding 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 ding.
Oh, you just got like 30 fucking messages. It was nuts. But
I don't know. But personally, I would prefer something that I don't have to like have in front of my face all the time.
Right.
Like,
No, for
That's
sure.
true, yeah.
For
having
sure.
this for when I want to be looking at something, that's different. But like when I don't want to be looking at something, that's actually why I have this, because it's like I could choose to look at the messages. Or
Exactly. It's
something.
out of sight, out of
True
mind
that.
until you need it.
Yeah. Because I don't like having this in front of my face. I feel like I'm rude if I'm checking this,
Oh, for
and
sure.
also
Definitely.
having
For
a
sure.
conversation with somebody.
that's true.
So,
And a lot of people understand that, like, okay, if you got stuff going on or whatever, but 9 times out of 10 that can be perceived, especially with like strangers or like like just casual conversation with like coworkers and shit. Like you pull your phone on, you're like still talking, but you're like texting. Like, what are you doing?
I've gotten
like,
a lot better.
Here.
I've gotten a lot better at that in recent years.
Yeah.
Like I put my phone to the side if I'm with someone or anything like that.
At
like
dinner,
I put my phone to the side, I put it away. You know what I mean? And if I have to answer it, like absolutely, like if there's something that I have to answer, then I go, I make it known to the person, like, hey, I'm super sorry about this. I just have to answer this question real quick. And then I'll put it away again. You know what I mean? Like I just did that yesterday where I was with someone and I had to check my phone because somebody asked me a question that they needed an answer to. And so I just said, hey, sorry, I just got to text them real quick, and then put it back away.
And that's, you know, like it at its core, it is all just courtesy, you know. So you're ensuring that other person doesn't feel like they're not as interesting, or you know, that you're still holding or being held by their, you know.
And I think that's another thing we take for granted. You know, like playing onto that same topic is like the company of others is taken for granted.
Oh my God.
We text people all the time and go, oh my God, I can't wait to hang out with you. And then when you hang out with them, what are half these people doing? Like these kids especially, what are they doing? They're on their phones all the time. I did it when I was a kid.
I think we all did. Yeah, but it's like,
and you just take for granted like the time that you're, and then
presence.
And you go, okay, bye, I'll see you later. And then what are you doing that night? Texting, oh my God, I had so much fun. I can't wait to hang out with you again.
I think you kind of appreciate that a little bit when you're older though too, because like you start to realize that like, hey, like these people aren't going to be around forever, or like or they move, or
people
like
fucking die and move,
or they just stop giving a fuck, or like maybe like you had a bad experience with them and then they stop hanging out with you, and like it sucks because it's like you created a rift between yourself because you couldn't communicate with them, or you couldn't connect with them because you had this thing separating you. So I don't know. I think you learn to appreciate that more, and you keep your stuff in your pocket because you learn to appreciate what's around you.
Oh, for sure. Because
I think, you know, being a teenager back in the day,
that's what
we all
did,
experienced
man.
that.
Yeah, we're all on our phones.
Well, I mean, like,
we FOMO, man. Fear missing out.
We continuously, you know, are looking back at especially growing up when we all did. I mean, like we were in that mid transition to where phones became more accessible, to when, you know, you could have a cell phone on you all the time, depending on, you know, if you could get one or not. Yeah. And I don't know. I definitely agree 110%.
I think also that we, as we get older, we noticed it too. Like, and I'll be interested to see when the generation below us gets older, because they're the generation that was born into technology. Yeah. You know, we weren't born into it, so it was like we saw it. We saw the rise of the cell phone. We saw the before, the rise of the you know, the laptops and the computers and everything. So it's like we understand life without it. Like we know what it's like. So as we get older, we go, oh shit, now, you know, it makes sense. Get off your fucking phone every once in a while. So we're interested to see, you know, people that are younger than us, are, you know, the generation younger than us, if they can come to that same
like what's going to be the social norm in 10 years, you know? Like what's it going to be like are people going to be so aware of it like we are, or that we could see when it's causing a divide, or are they going to be able to separate that?
I think so. I mean, I look at some of my family members that are younger, like especially like Katie. I look at her and she definitely gets it. You know, she knows like to get off the phone sometimes because there's something around it. Like she's going on vacation or something. She knows to like take in that moment rather than here all the time. Yeah. But she's also very different than a lot of other kids that I know.
I feel like they resort to this though because it's easy to keep constant communication with other people, as we're like back in the day, like, you know, we had to be able to like live by ourselves as well. Yeah. And that anxiety of like being by yourself is the main issue with a lot of these kids nowadays.
Which plays into my argument. Like I've said before, everyone needs to take a solo road trip at one point in their life because you are forced to become comfortable with yourself. Yep. And it makes life so much easier when you can be comfortable being alone. Yep. And I'm not saying you should be alone all the time. Being in company is great, but there's times in life where you're gonna have to be alone. You have to accept it, and you have to know how to be comfortable with yourself. Yep. Just to go off on that little rant again. But
people, break up with your significant others. Go live in a ditch.
Just go live in a van down by the river.
Quit your job.
Rest of us. Fuck it all.
No, but I definitely. I mean, like, I wouldn't go that far, but I definitely agree that, you know, you have to have a level of independence.
Yeah, like self-awareness.
You can't be primarily stuck on being around people. I mean, you can enjoy the fuck out of it. I love being around people, but then again, I could also be by myself. Yeah. And not sweat it, not feel any different.
With the amenities that we're given nowadays, though, it's almost impossible to get away from people. And I think that's the hard part, is breaking yourself off. It's not.
I just did. I
mean, for people that kind of grew into that into that field, though, like they understand, like, you know, this is how the world is, and this is how it's going to be from now on, and it's only going to get more and more interconnected. So how do I separate myself from this web, you know, of this whole network of people?
Turn your fucking phone off.
Put your phone down.
It's as simple as that. Literally, you could turn your if people could just turn their phones off. And I mean, I'm clearly, you know, going against what I'm saying here because I'm not gonna turn my phone off. But that's all you have to do. Yeah. Literally, if you need to be, you know, that's all people need to do to experience at least 50 to 60% more of like life or pulling away from that. fucking turn your phone off.
Yep.
And it's really easy. I think I actually, now that I'm thinking about this, I think I disagree with you. I think it is easy to be alone because I have been in places that are crowded. Not crowded, but places where there are a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
And I've been off my phone, like on the road trip. I went to places where, there's tourists, obviously, and people are sightseeing and everything. Grand Canyon is a perfect example. I was not on my phone. I took my couple pictures, my videos, was off my phone, right?
Yep.
And even though there was quite a few people there, I was alone because all of those people were on their phones. Yep. Or like getting
in their own
pictures
shit.
taken. They were in their own heads. Like I could have been wearing the weirdest fucking shirt and nobody would have noticed. Like it was that you're that perceived. The perception of others of you, like you're not there to them.
My argument wasn't that it's not that it's difficult to be alone. It's difficult to break off from a society where everything is so interconnected. Yeah. So like if you are living in that world all the time and like you don't know any other way, because we grew up before that whole network thing happened. So
right. You want to see your friends. You ride your bike down the road or call a house phone.
But now your personal identity is based around how connected you are with everybody else.
No, for sure.
That's on your phone, basically.
I think we live in a notification society, a pop-up notification society now.
And I can't handle it anymore. I just silent everything.
Yeah. That's why it's nice to just reset and get away for a little bit.
Yep.
You know what I would really like to do? This is kind of off topic, but I would love to go to a temple, a Buddhist temple. There's one in Rockford.
Is there really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And I would love, there's one in Rockford and one in, I don't remember. But I would love to go to one because some of them offer like weeks of silence, like a week of silence. Like you can go and you can participate in it. And there's even some retreats that do it too, but temples are a little bit more strict on it.
Yeah.
Like you can't talk. You're not allowed. You'll get hit. But I would love to just go try it.
That'd be
for
cool.
a week. Just
not talk.
Yeah. I mean, you're literally all you do. Like, I think some of them have like a certain hour that you can talk or something like that in the morning. But otherwise, your entire day is like you just meditating and focusing on life around you, which would be really interesting, I think.
I actually got into meditation right after high school because I was having a really hard time sleeping, and I gotta say, meditation really does help you clear the head out.
Yep.
Honestly, if you've never tried it before, go on YouTube, learn some tutorials as to how to really get your mind straight.
Any kind, you can do any kind. I mean, there's so many different kinds of meditation. Just find one that fits you, and don't be afraid to try other ones. Because I've used it, just like you, I've used it since high school too. I love it.
Yeah, honestly, you become so much more self-aware about like stuff that you have going on in your life and like stuff that you have going on around you. It just kind of helps you clear the table a little bit.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of meditation. Love it. Anyways, speaking of meditation, what are we at? 27 minutes? Should we talk about our skills for the week?
Yeah, we can
get into those.
Let's do it.
We're halfway through, right? Go ahead. All right. Skills that we did this week. What do you guys got? What were they?
So I read in about 3/4 of that book that I was gifted. It's pretty interesting. I liked it was Ship of Fools by Tucker Carlson. I like the way that he writes, and his perspectives on things are really interesting. I like that it's more on a confrontational perspective. Like he talks like you're having a conversation, or he writes like you're having a conversation, which is enjoyable. I may not, agree. Obviously, I'm not going to go into my political standings, but, I may not agree, or I do agree with some of the things that he had touched on or covered or whatever. Like even just talking about the merits of some of the people that we have as forerunners. But or at the time, but it was interesting. It was an interesting contrast from my personal perspectives, and then just I don't know. I just enjoyed how the book was written, because it was very, very conversation based. It was like as if you had asked him a question and then
he responded.
Exactly.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Nice.
Yeah.
How about for you? What was your skill for the week?
So my skill for the week was to write some articles. So I got like halfway through. So basically, I was going to write 3 different articles. One was going to be for business. One was going to be just like a comedy thing, and then the last one was going to be just whatever I felt like. So I got through the business article. It was just talking about just some procedures to do, like basically some mental prep for like how to like get in the right mindset for starting a business. The second one I'm like halfway through right now. It's just like a comedy piece on some pop culture stuff that I've noticed. And then I don't know if I'm going to get around to the third article or not, but I want to finish up that second article and get that posted at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Where are they posted at? On a little blog site or what?
Nowhere yet. I just have them on Google Drive, but I could probably post it on Facebook or something.
Boom, there you go.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Post them out there. Let's
That's
see.
awesome.
When I finish it, can I just post it on the Facebook or
On ours?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Dude, sure.
Post it
That
up.
works,
I don't
so.
care.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I told you last week I wanted to read them.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. So yeah,
Show.
I'll finish them up and then I'll send you guys a link. So.
Oh yeah.
Boom, there it is.
Sweet.
My skill for this week, I was supposed to read 3 to 4 books, and I did. I finished 3. So I did Ishmael was one of them. That was the one where speaking of philosophy, the gorilla that learns to communicate well. I mean, gorillas can communicate, but a gorilla that can communicate well with humans and can actually, he becomes a teacher for certain people. And while the ending was very interesting, it was a very, I don't know, so basically my favorite quote of the whole book was at the very end of the book, and it was the person that he was teaching reads this in his cage that he had written down, because he's trapped in this cage the whole time. This gorilla is, obviously,
right.
And at the very end he reads this quote that the gorilla wrote down, and it was the quote was can gorilla survive without man, and that can man survive without gorilla? And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless you read the book, and then you go, holy shit, that's a fucking crazy quote. Like, it's really cool how and it's kind of a save the world kind of thing, like, environmentalists almost, I guess. It's a very, very easy take on environmentalism. It's not like a gung-ho, like, don't use plastic kind of shit. It's just a very, like, it gets you kind of thinking about, like, yeah, what are certain things that we do? What are the laws of nature, and how do we break those laws in certain ways that are a benefit, or how do we break them in ways that are perceived as benefits but are actually destroying what it's backtracking. We're destroying what we think we're creating, basically. Yeah. So it's a really great book. I recommend it. It's very short, but I recommend it to anyone. Ishmael, it's a great book. The other one I finished was it was the how to. It's not called How to Quit Drinking. It's called How to Control Drinking, but basically it's How to Quit Drinking. Another great book. That guy, he takes a really interesting take on addiction and alcoholism, and I'm not an alcoholic by any stretch of the means. It's just an interesting book that I wanted to read. And, it takes a very interesting look at why we drink and why we try to act like it's not in our control, or how certain people that drink excessively try to act like it's not in their control, or how they try to think that it is in their control when it's really not. And it's just a very interesting take on addiction and alcoholism as a whole. And then the other one I read was The Influencer Marketing, which was, it wasn't bad. It's kind of a broad answered book is how I like to say it. I feel like
the influencer marketing stuff is mostly just like,
it's very broad answered.
It's kind of like no shit details.
Exactly,
it's like,
it was good.
Something you can kind of figure out by yourself.
He told some good stories, but it was good. It was all right.
Yeah.
It was fine. I'll probably return it, and that's why I love Audible. Not sponsored, but Audible is wonderful.
Yet.
If you sign up for Audible, not yet sponsored. We can be. If you sign up for Audible, you get a credit every month. On the lowest tier, you get a credit every month that you can get a book, and it's basically a free book. You can get any book that you want. And if you don't like the book, or if you finish it and you just want to return it, you can return that fucking book and get your credit back for a new book.
Nice.
It's like going to the library and renting a book and bringing it back. It's really cool. So I definitely recommend Audible. But yeah, it was my skill for the week. So, yeah.
Dude, I like that, man.
All right.
Yeah.
So, skills for this week, boys.
That's going to be the trickier one. So.
That is.
Should I go first? Or?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
My skill for this week, clean eating.
Clean eating?
Ooh.
Yep. I started meal prepping last week, and so this week I got nothing going on for this whole week that I'm out of town that kind of screws me. Not until next week. But I'm gonna clean eat. Like I'm talking chicken breast and some fish.
Broccoli.
Fuck yeah.
Well, broccoli, yeah, but vegetables. Broccoli's all right, but all vegetables, and yeah, just really, really clean eating. So,
Okay.
yeah. This whole fitness kick these last couple months, and I'm loving it.
That kind of fits into what I was actually going to be doing this week. I'm going to be restarting the keto diet this week.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Yeah, so
Keto.
I figured out so I've only been eating or drinking coffee and water basically and tea. So
Which is fasting, which is awesome.
for right now, yeah.
Yep.
But so yeah, I'm just trying to get back onto like a clean diet as well. So that's kind of my goal, is to try to get back into that. I'm not looking forward to it though, because the keto flu is the
worst.
the fucking worst.
Yeah.
I've
Keto
gone through
flu.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It's
so,
because so keto diet historically. Well, go ahead. I don't know.
Yeah. So, well, the keto diet, like you basically cut out all carbs and such, so that way your body gets into the ketogenic process and it only lives off your body fat.
Right.
So it burns that body fat as fuel instead of any other sugars or carbs. And
And you don't want to say no carbs because technically
you have a couple.
because if you do no carbs, it's what we like to call the Atkins diet,
Yeah.
which if some of you of our older audience remembers, got in a lot of fucking trouble.
Yep.
Because people were going into shock because they didn't have any carbs in their system.
Yeah.
And they were going into shock because you still need carbs. Carbs are not all bad.
Yeah.
So.
But it's like zero sugar at least. So
Yeah.
like your body's primarily running only on the body fat basically that you have in your system. And so your body kind of rejects that at first, where it's like it feels like shit when you try to transition from from living off of sugars and stuff like that into
Right.
living off your body fat. And so your body just feels like absolute garbage when it transitions. So like you start feeling woozy and like you can't stand up straight and you feel weak and you feel sick and like you have the runs and all that kind of shit. And it's
Really?
awful. And it goes for like 2 days. Like, you know,
Holy shit.
You go for like 3 days of only eating keto, and then you get keto flu for like 1 to 3 days, and then you're good after that. But it's
Wow.
Now I will say the
Sounds
only
like a
thing
purge.
that I am
Basically.
not super excited about with keto, I think it's great for people that need to lose weight. Don't get me wrong, but keto is very interesting because research has shown that when your body goes into ketogenic state, not to get super scientific and
you're good.
fitnessy here, but when your body goes into that state, the point is that it's supposed to be relying on the fats that are stored in your system to use as energy, right? Well, the problem is that only works for a certain window of time, because after that window of time, your body stops making like your insulin and stuff.
Yeah.
Not making insulin, but it stops producing enough for your body to use as energy throughout the day. So what is it going to use? It's going to go towards the next biggest energy consuming thing in the body, which is your muscle tissue. So it's going to start to eat away. Some people to believe that it can actually. So like if you're into fitness and you're trying to gain muscle and everything, it's kind of counterintuitive. You kind of want to cycle it. Like some days, so like the bodybuilding way and the fitness way, what you want to do is carb cycling rather than ketogenic, where ketogenic is real low carb every day.
Yeah.
Whereas what you should be doing is carb cycling.
Yeah.
So on days that you're going to work out, you should go high carb. You want carbs right before your workout, and then some right after as well. Because then you're going to have excess carbs that you can use for that
maintain
day of
that
working
balance.
out, and it's
That
not going
makes
to
sense.
it's not going to attack the muscle.
Yeah.
Whereas ketogenic, every single day, if you keep doing this, all of a sudden your body goes, hey, fuck this. I'm out. I'm going for the next biggest energy consuming thing in your body. And
Yeah.
it's going to be your muscle. So
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So
it's
that's not
good
bad mouthing
for-
keto. Keto is great for people that need to lose weight.
Yeah, for people that need to lose, especially body fat and
Yeah.
such, that it helps out after a while, but you do lose some muscle mass in the process. So it's like, I would suggest kind of working out first, like trying to bulk up a little bit first and then do keto almost.
Yeah.
So that we
Or
have
even just
a little bit
keto
of a
cycle.
fallback.
Keto cycle. If
yeah.
you bulk up, do your little keto, cycle off, go back into a higher carb diet, or go low carbs on days you don't work out, high carb day you do work out. That's the philosophy. And then you're good.
Yeah.
You just got to be careful with it. That's all.
Oh, that's really interesting. And it's super funny that we all kind of pick like dietary stuff, because
You
I'm
did
just gonna eat like a fucking pig for the
Nice.
next week.
Love that.
Jesus Christ.
No, I wanted to dial back, and because I've been really neglecting, like when we went to the casino or whatever, I guess we didn't technically go to the casino. We went to the restaurant, though.
We went to a restaurant and the casino. I tried to go to the casino. Nobody else went with me.
Dude,
I went into the casino. I was smoking in the casino.
Yeah, Drake was so surprised.
Oh my god,
you could
dude.
smoke on casinos.
Oh my god,
Oh, yeah,
dude.
dude,
I lost
yeah.
my
He
shit.
also didn't know that you get free drinks when you gamble.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah,
I had
dude.
no fucking idea.
We'll take you out sometime.
Okay.
I got you. There's plenty of other casinos out here I can take you to.
But yeah, so you know, I noticed because I used to be really good about it, and like whenever we do like the spot shopping and shit for the apartment, like I used to be really good about getting like greens and you know, like really trying to partake in. Yeah, I eat a bunch of shit, and like I've cut a lot of fast food out, but like even my day to day, it's like mac and cheese and like frozen pizzas and like a real basic bitch.
Well, it's
diet.
it's a convenience factor.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
Exactly. Because I like cooking. I like cooking a lot, but I have very specific meals that like I enjoy to cook. And when I cook those meals on a regular basis, it's like, okay, cool. Like this is just a part of the routine versus like, okay, well, I want to make, you know, a Gordon Ramsay garlic and thyme steak or something. You know, some real classy.
Sounds dope.
Right. I have to like set apart that time and like, you know, go through all the ingredients and like get those fucking
it's a lot of
techniques down
effort,
shit.
you know?
It is. But that convenience is where I fall into that routine of just like, okay, well, if I go shopping, I'm going to get, you know, 5 boxes of fucking mac and cheese and a bunch of tuna and then a bunch of, you know, like maybe a couple bags of salad and shit. Well, I haven't done the salads and shit in a long time.
Right.
And I noticed
You've
that
been craving it.
when we went to the fucking buffet, the first thing I did, I mean, they had fucking prime rib, they had fucking
Salmon, smoked salmon. Oh, I ate so much that goddamn
fried
smoked
chicken,
salmon.
like calamari. They had the whole fucking spread of shit. And my mouth was watering when I realized what that kiosk was. It was a salad bar. And I was like, why the fuck am I like really into this salad right now?
Gotta get that mixed green salad, dude. The goodness.
Dude. So I think that's what my skill is gonna be this week. Is I'm gonna bump that veggie intake.
If you want to do that,
Realign.
there's a Fuji apple salad dressing you can get from Panera Bread.
Ooh, hell
It's my favorite salad dressing of all time. So definitely check that out.
We can also.
It's like $3 a bottle of it.
You know what we
like
can
that,
do
but-
this week? I can introduce you to Festival Foods.
Yes.
My
Oh,
new favorite
yeah.
fucking place in the world. Oh, I love that place. Because I have to go there anyways because I got to get more meal prep stuff because I'm out. So
Yeah. Whenever you want to go, I'll roll with you.
hell yeah.
For sure.
Which is interesting that we all picked these things because there's another thing I wanted to bring up. Actually, I'll let you talk about it because you talked about it last week too. There's a new gym.
Oh yeah,
about
yeah.
that
So
gym.
there's a new gym actually in this in our hometown here. It's called Elite Iron. It's the Barbell Club. So basically, it's a brand new gym that just opened up. We're trying to kind of rep him a little bit because we know that he's doing some awesome work down there, just doing personal training and getting more and more members out there. So
Yeah, he's a cool dude, and it's a real gym. It's
it's
awesome.
like an actual gym. So we had a discussion with this guy recently about just trying to provide actual services for people that are really trying to get in shape, and like he just does some awesome work.
He knows what the fuck he's talking about, which is awesome.
He actually went to school for calisthenics and
Yep.
such. So he or is that what it's
No,
called? Or-
kinesiology.
Kinesiology. Sorry, not calisthenics.
Calisthenics is part of a workout.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Warm up
I
your
mixed
muscle
up all that
groups.
shit. But so he's really knowledgeable. He actually knows what he's
that
talking
spider?
about. So if you guys get a chance, or ever pass through the area here, go check
so
out
Beloit,
Elite Iron.
Janesville, Rockton, Roscoe
Yeah.
area, any of those.
It's right on the north
Check
side
it
of
out.
Beloit.
Through, man.
It's over by
Check it
Turner High
out.
School and such.
You will not regret it.
You will enjoy it. He knows what he's talking about,
Definitely. And it's reasonable prices too.
Yeah,
Like
it's not
honestly,
bad at all.
for like for a personal trainer, like some of those, they get pretty pricey. But like, you get 24-hour access to his gym for like 40, 50
boy's
bucks.
gonna need
Oh,
a shirt
shit.
from that
Yeah.
place here soon.
Yeah.
I'll
so
rep that
working
shit.
out
Fuck.
there.
one of these days, we're actually we're gonna help him out with getting his website up. So one of these
Sell
days,
cutoffs?
we'll post some links for him. And
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Also on that topic too, hashtag not sponsored, but First Form, I did a little contest thing with them, and those guys, I'm telling you, they're a big company now. So for those of you that don't know, First Form is a supplement company, and I'm not huge on supplements. I think there's certain ones that you need. Protein's definitely one of them for people that work out a lot. A lot of supplements are just kind of fillers and bullshit. You're just pissing them out anyways. But anyways, started out as a smaller company and just blew the fuck up through Instagram. Really is where they got most of their stuff. I mean, just blew up, became a huge fucking company. And so I signed up for a contest with them, and they ended up sending me a t-shirt, and really cool t-shirt, really soft material. But they sent me, I just want to give a shout out to these guys, because even after being such a big company, right, they sent me a t-shirt They sent me 3 different samples of different products, which is cool. That's great.
Yeah.
But then they also sent like a little letter, like a little card. And I was like, oh, cool. It's like a little card that's got, something like, thanks for joining First Form. No. This card was this big, that big, handwritten on both sides.
Oh, shit.
And signed. Handwritten.
Wow.
I mean, clearly in purple pen, handwritten. I was like, you know what? Fuck yeah. And I'm not big into supplements, but I will rep that brand because even after growing so giant, they still have somebody that is writing out handwritten.
Yeah, actually showing
notes.
some personal.
So
that's really
First
cool.
Form,
I like that.
Shout out to First Form for that. Proud of you guys.
for
Thank you
shizzle.
for that.
Well, that speaks volumes. I mean, it's still that connectivity to your customer basis. That mom and pop mentality.
Yep.
And fuck, dude. There's so many businesses that we've seen like blow the fuck up and like get really big, that have lost that connectivity.
Yep.
With their customer base. It's now we're a order number 62180.
Yep.
Versus I'm customer A. That.
No, I'm shout out to them for that.
No, that's seriously cool. You gotta love that, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we before we get back into our philosophical talks, I got one more thing for you guys. Ready?
Yeah.
I gotta find it again because I forgot
Pocket
it.
sand.
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand.
All right. Fact of the week, our new thing that we brought in last week. Fact of the week, because we're what we learned this week, so we want to make sure that y'all learned something this week. So
The more you know.
the more you know. The fact of the week this week: people who eat dark chocolate. A large study found they are less likely to be depressed.
That's weird.
That's a fucking lie because they ate a lot of dark
Yeah,
chocolate.
I was gonna say, whoever you fucking talk to, it's full of shit.
Full of
Study
shit.
that found.
I still hate myself.
Yeah,
I eat that shit all the
But here's the
time.
problem. You guys fake hate yourself. There's people with actual depression that go home and go, I actually kind of want to kill myself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Real depression, not us joking about depression
Right.
and
Joking
joking about
helps.
killing ourselves.
Joking helps.
No. And you eat dark chocolate? Or you
All the time.
Because I eat like the 80 to 95% bitter shit, and I love it. I'm not
See, I love it. I love dark chocolate, man.
Jake's
Not
just
that-
over there eating
70%. 70. Listen, those of you that eat 70% or 75% dark chocolate and say it's dark chocolate, you're fucking lying. That's milk chocolate. Get out of here. Dark chocolate's 80% or higher.
Yeah.
I'll fight you to that.
Yeah, you know what? It's
Fine day.
super funny too, because like even that I never really liked milk chocolate. Like I think like Valentine's Day fucked it up for me, like Easter, because you always get like the super
You get like
cheap.
too much sweet chocolate.
And
And
it just I don't know. I've never been a sweets guy except for like cheesecake
I don't
and shit.
understand
but-
people that can eat like a whole Hershey's chocolate bar. I'm like,
Oh fuck!
Ugh.
No, you gotta space that out, man. The only
I can
candy
have, like, one
bars,
little brick and I'm good.
yeah, the only candy bars I can eat, but it's because it's a candy bar, is never just like a solid chunk of whatever. It's always got like a whatchamacallit.
Oh,
You got
right,
tons of
with
shit,
other
or like
stuff,
the Take 7, where it's got like all the fucking pretzels
Oh,
and
the
shit.
Take Five.
Take
Yeah.
5,
Fucking
yeah.
idiot.
I don't care, man.
Take
I'm not
12,
paying attention.
Yeah, why don't you just take 12?
fucking-
Take 5.
But like it's substance. Like there's more than just fucking chocolate.
My favorite chocolate bar, though, that I might be able to eat at least one whole, because they're circular bars, so maybe one whole circle. There's a store right down the street from us that
Dove?
sells. No, it's Mexican pressed cocoa.
Oh,
So it's gritty and it's dark. They do like dark chocolate. They do like chili powder and chocolate, all this stuff. Fuck, it's good.
that sounds really good.
Really good stuff.
I have 2 favorites. One of which chocolate covered coffee beans,
Ooh,
like
yeah.
dark
Hell
chocolate
yeah.
covered
Yeah,
coffee
yeah,
beans.
Yeah, I can get down on those.
Second of all, which I didn't think I was gonna like, but I totally am obsessed with, and I need to cut out Reese's Fast Break,
Oh fuck!
because it's just peanut butter and nougat.
They're so bad for you.
It's
though.
so bad for you, but
so
if you
bad.
eat the small ones, I'm like,
We're talking about fitness over here and fucking
I want to fit this whole chocolate bar in my
Well,
mouth.
my favorite fucking sweet, like my favorite sweet treat
Sweet tweet.
that I like to ingest on a regular basis, if I can treat myself, is the dark chocolate cherry Garcia ice creams.
Ooh,
Oh,
shit,
that's
that sounds good.
my dad's favorite. Yep.
Dude,
Ben and Jerry's.
Dad's got some good taste.
Cherry
'Cause it's
Garcia.
like the bitter fucking dark chocolate coupled with like the cherry ice creams and then the fucking
Cherry
the
ice creams.
chunko cherries in there.
My absolute favorite dessert of all time, tiramisu.
Oh,
By
fucking,
far, by far.
Yeah, tiramisu
It's
is
so
pretty
good,
fucking
man.
good.
yeah.
I would kill some people for some tiramisu right now.
Right.
That's
No, shit. We are
haven't-
people.
I haven't
man.
eaten since yesterday. Give it to me.
Give it to me.
Oh shit. No.
Just pop into
We're
Olive
being
Garden and start-
healthy this week, boys. Healthy.
Well, I don't have a plan. I just want to.
He's like, I didn't
Oh,
commit
yeah,
to
you're
anything.
Like, fuck that. I'm gonna eat shitty, and then I'm just gonna add greens to it and say I'm eating good.
Please tell me please tell me there's a keto version of tiramisu.
Yeah, of course there is.
Sure.
Please.
A non-carb tiramisu. Yeah, it's literally just coffee powder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
In
it's
your mouth.
It's just what it's like eclairs with Kahlua and
Yep.
a whole bunch of cheese and
It's
shit.
fucking
Or
delicious.
What's it called? Cream cheese or whatever. I don't know.
I love tiramisu. All right. Anyways, stop. My mouth's watering. I gotta eat
I
clean.
know, dude.
Anyways, back to our topics at hand. I think we've got everything out of the way.
Yeah.
All right, ready? This is the last one.
Yes.
On our philosophical topic. Things that people, society, takes too seriously.
Existence.
Yeah, that too. Definitely existence.
You guys might hate me for this one, but sports.
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I've seen fights, physical altercations start.
And I love
because
sports.
of
Don't get me
teams.
wrong, but it's like, yeah, people need to chill out about fucking
I'm
sports.
I'm
Are you the
definitely-
one playing? No, shut up.
Yeah.
Be excited. Be fucking stoked. That's the point. You should be a fan. You should. And you.
I'm not gonna fight somebody over it,
That's the difference.
but I'm gonna definitely get into the game.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's the
shit,
point.
my team's playing. Can't wait to watch
Dude.
this. It's physical.
And I'm all
fitness
about
stuff.
that. I'm all about that. I'm all about you being enthusiastic about
Yeah.
a team or about your hometown hero. That's important.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with representing what
no.
you care
Just
about.
don't.
That's badass.
Just don't go overboard.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Like
don't
you see
let
those-
it set the mood for your day.
Exactly.
If your team
Exactly.
loses, don't get all pissed off.
Yeah.
Because I'm just gonna say.
I mean, you
"Shut
see
up, you pussy."
videos all the time, like drunk or not, like
People destroying their own.
destroying TVs,
Yeah.
destroying like screaming at the top of their lungs. It's like I get enthusiasm, I do. Like
Yeah.
I get real emotional when there's a really good movie playing. Like I love that shit, or like a really good story arc. But there's a difference, dude. Like you are lashing out at shit, or like getting into fights with opposite teams. Like I get rivalries. It's good. Competition is healthy as fuck. Keeps you motivated. Don't physically assault somebody else because
Yeah.
their team kicked your team's ass.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't be a
That's a
dickhead.
bit much.
And that ties directly into politics.
Again, yeah.
Same argument.
Way
Yeah.
too serious on the
Way too
political
serious,
front.
dude.
See,
Jesus
my thing with
Christ.
politics is that, like, people are a lot more complex than ones and zeros. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not. I feel like that's why.
And stop
we should-
thinking that. Yeah, just go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, like, I think that instead of having the two-party system, we should just vote on individual issues and solutions. But that's just my personal opinion. So I feel like we'd be a lot more effective as a society that way.
Oh, for sure.
Like, because just voting for one side over the other, it doesn't really equate to anything. Nothing
Yeah,
really
no.
gets done. Because anything that's done, with one president, is just going to be switched
Rejected
out
by
in
the
the next
other
4
one.
years.
Yeah.
So it's just it just doesn't make any
It's
sense.
just like you're fighting over who's gonna fuck you harder.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's all you're fighting
you're
about. They're
using-
both gonna
you're trying to
fuck you.
vote for the
Yeah.
lesser of two evils.
Yeah,
at
they're
that
both
point.
gonna fuck you. You know
But
this.
what's the point in that? Why
Because we
why
need
are
it-
you
well,
forced
okay.
into a situation to where you now have to pick the lesser of two evils?
I
Because
mean,
that's what happened in the last
because
election.
we need a democratic system right
Yeah.
now. Obviously,
No, for sure.
Currently,
Yes.
it is the most viable option for
Yes.
society to function is a capitalist democracy. That's
Yeah.
clear for right now. Is there a perfect
Point
government?
improvement,
No, we haven't found it yet. Government is in its core a philosophical belief.
Yeah.
So is there a perfect one? Maybe, but we definitely haven't found it yet. No.
Right.
There's corruption still, there's greed, obviously. And we may never find a perfect government because
No,
of
lots
greed.
of
But it's just like I'm not going to fight you
No.
or hate you and not talk to you because you have a different political belief than me.
Yeah.
It's
Fuck you.
your
That's okay, Walker.
It's-
I accept your need to feel that
it's
passionately.
your political belief.
Yeah.
That's not my. I'm not
Yeah.
going to change
It
your
doesn't
belief.
affect
Me yelling
anything.
at you and beating the shit out of you is just gonna bolster your belief in what
Yeah.
you're gonna just say. You're right. That side is angry.
Yeah.
Or you're right. That side is a pussy.
Yeah.
And it's just
Yep.
like it's they're just trying to separate you. It's just politics.
That
It's
is.
just you're just
We're right, they're wrong.
just
That's it.
believe
Yeah.
what you believe.
And that's
in.
exactly it. Like, it's the whole political system nowadays just causes a rift
Yeah, they do it on
between
purpose.
people.
Oh, absolutely.
So like that way, you're always focusing on the enemy, which is always the people that have different beliefs than
Yeah.
you. But then you're not really seeing the true enemy at that point, which is the people that are taking advantage of your hatred.
Just believe in what you believe in and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit. I don't give a fuck what you think. No. I don't care.
But that's also why
I do. Don't get me wrong. You can have a constructive conversation.
Yes.
You should.
There
should be no emotion involved.
No. The second emotion outside of just core passion of what you're enthusiastic about. Like if you really enjoy a specific legislative change that's potentially coming in and you're trying to advocate for it and you're trying to make sure that message is given across properly. Yeah. Fucking sweet, dude. I love that because it's something that you are taking the proper steps to try and progress to help what you think will make better changes for the future or whatever's being changed. But do not
infringe on my belief.
Don't think for a second that just because you're passionate about it doesn't mean I have to be.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And it's not going against you. It's not trying to push weight against you to be like, oh well, why should I be fucking enthusiastic about this? It's just the simple fact that like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's all opinion based. It's all personal perspective.
It's tough because there is certain things that affect people that have to go in.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know. We try to stay not political on this show.
Yeah.
We try
it's not like we're picking a side.
Yeah.
We're
No,
talking
it's
about
just,
politics,
but there are definitely certain things that I understand people can get worked up about. I mean, abortion is a big one.
Yeah.
That's obviously it's a big one.
Right.
It to me, it's, I don't know. Okay, not abortion. I'll bring up a different one. Here's a better one. Gay marriage. Marriage for all. You're talking at its core.
Yeah.
I don't care what your debate is on it. At its core,
dude,
it is a religious
absolutely
thing at its core.
Yeah.
So any other fact that you bring up,
null and void.
You're bullshitting.
Yeah.
You're lying.
It's an opinion.
Lying. It's a religious thing that you're either on one side or you're on the other. There is no legal thing.
Nope.
Like the one that they tried to bring up is that they can just get, anybody can just get married then, and they can commit fraud and have all these benefits for because they have a spouse, and now this spouse can be on their benefits because they're married. Fuck, a guy and a girl can do the same shit.
Yeah.
Why can't two girls or two guys do it?
Yeah.
You're gonna fuck me, I'm gonna fuck you. I don't give a shit.
And actually, gay couples.
If the government's gonna fuck me, I'm gonna fuck you. I don't care.
And actually, gay couples actually have a much lower divorce rate than straight people.
Yeah. It's just interesting that there is certain issues that I believe it's okay to be a little emotional about, but for the most part,
just
live your life under your belief.
Yes,
and be okay with it.
Yep.
Just have the courtesy to understand that
and understand that you're not that different from other people.
Have some sympathy for those that might not be in the same situation that you're in as well.
Exactly.
So it's just
be
open to the fact that your life is different than somebody else's.
Exactly. You were raised in a different environment than others.
Yeah.
Not everyone was raised in the exact same life, and which means we're not all ones and zeros. We're all very different, but we have very similar beliefs. I mean, it's just that's the thing.
I think everybody has core values cemented in them as people, but it's just a matter of refining those to see exactly what can we do to make things better for everybody at that point.
It's
just not for myself, but for
things are across the board versus individuals.
Exactly.
Like we're literally one species on a floating rock going 1,000,000 miles an hour in space. We don't matter.
No.
No matter how much we'd like to think that we do, we don't.
Dude,
and that's the message in today's video. Nothing matters.
We affect this much. Not even this much. We affect this much. It's reverse. We affect that much of the total universal environment.
And I've
so stop taking shit so serious.
Yeah, exactly. And and that's one of those things. Like I know in previous episodes, pretty much every time we talk about something more serious, or like when it comes to existence in general, I tend to be more pessimistic, or like I say, very nihilistic answers.
Oh, you definitely do.
Because it's funny to me.
It's not that everything doesn't matter. You still have to have meaning in life. I think.
Well, you can have an existence without any drive and any purpose, but it's up to that individual to. Well, that's
I don't know.
That's subjective.
That one I can fight. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
but that's one of those things. Like you give yourself that drive, you give yourself that purpose, that reason to be enthusiastic, to find hope, to find the things that make that.
I feel like
completely
everyone has
null
a
and void
reason
existence.
to live, even if they don't know it.
Absolutely.
Everyone has
Absolutely.
a reason to live. Otherwise, you'd just be dead.
Yeah.
Why would you keep eating if you had no reason to
Right.
live? You have to.
I mean, you have those. You have the 3 core, like bare bones DNA driven,
Right.
instinctual drives in your day to day. What you are when you wake up, and that attaches to all the accessory shit. Why we work, why we have to fucking pay bills, why we have to fucking get vehicles. Like all of these things contribute to those 3 main factors: to fuck, to feed, and to fight. And with those. Having a house.
I don't
okay?
think fighting is a
You're correct. So you're correct.
Trait.
Shelter. I'll say shelter.
Shelter.
Well, we're gonna
food,
fight regardless.
and-
We're a
and-
violent species.
We'll say survive. How about that? 'Cause
Survive.
That kind of
yeah.
counters
Well, they're all
yes.
components of
shelter and
survival.
fighting.
It's reproduction.
Yeah.
Feeding
Yeah.
and shelter.
Yeah.
Those are the 3.
Then
bare bones.
we'll run with those.
So
Not
we
fighting.
have
That's just
a
your bare bones.
so we have an
belief.
existentialist and a nihilist.
I wouldn't
right
say
here,
I'm a
so-
nihilist.
No, 'cause you're saying that nothing mattered to begin with.
No. No, because I'm also saying that you have to have some sort of meaning.
Define meaning.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have something that's driving you forward in life, because otherwise, why? If you had nothing driving you forward, I'm not saying you have to have ambition.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have ambition to have a meaning in life.
Yeah.
Right.
There is some core meaning in your life where you otherwise, why would you keep living? You would just wake up one day and go, I don't know why I'm here.
See, that's
I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna ride this one out and go dead.
I'm pretty sure that's
I would say I'm closer to an absurdist.
absurdist. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say because that's so for those that aren't familiar with it, absurdism is actually it's the recognition of that we live in a chaotic world, in a chaotic universe that we don't really have too much control over, but to try to find meaning in what we have in existence. So like just trying to find meaning in stuff that you believe in, even though you know that in the grand scheme of things it doesn't really
Exactly.
matter.
And I think yeah, and that's exactly that's perfect. Like in the grand scheme of everything, I am nothing and I will never be anything.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
the most well-toted human in history will be nothing in the grand scheme of the universe.
Yeah.
However, I still have drive and meaning for my life.
Yeah.
And while I'm here, I
make the
have
best
things
of it.
that I
You're
want to
gonna do shit.
experience that
Yeah.
have meaning to me.
Right.
I know I'm not going to have meaning to the universe, but I want to have the universe mean something to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
core
Well,
belief.
that's perfect. That's actually a great way to live by. So
That's how I roll. That's my life.
I feel like more people need to have that mentality as well, because I feel like a lot of people think that they are, I don't know, how do I put this without being an asshole?
That they matter.
Well, I no problem thinking like that, but it's just like, understand that the world is a lot bigger than just what you have
absolutely.
in your life.
Absolutely.
It affects, we're all connected to a certain degree, but it's like you have to understand that even with that connection, you're only one cog in the giant clockwork of the universe.
Our world could literally explode tomorrow, and the universe
It wouldn't change.
Yeah.
would barely
I mean,
flicker.
you'd maybe catch some debris on other planets, but it would.
But
just
out of the total
keep going.
universe, I
Yeah.
mean, it also depends on what your belief of the universe is.
Right.
I'm under the very stern belief that there is a multiverse, like where it is. We're not just one universe. I mean, there's billions upon billions of space.
Right.
I don't know. It's just space is everything. It's everywhere.
Space.
So it's like in the grandest scheme of everything.
That's it, NASA. We solved it.
Space. In the grandest scheme of everything, our solar system could literally implode.
Yep.
And we would still make less than 1% of a difference in the grand scheme.
Yeah.
Our solar
Of what
system.
is existence.
Yeah. It's just-
Real tangible existence.
We all crawled out of the same primordial soup
Yep.
from back in the beginning of the universe.
Exactly.
So here
Love
we are
each other.
together.
Stop
you
being a
got
dick.
You got a beating heart. You got a brain that can think for
Yeah.
itself. You're
Be
not
thankful.
just.
Which that in itself, dude. What? How much time do we got? So that.
Oh, we are right at an hour.
So
we can continue this
I'll
in the
make it
live.
quick. I'll make it quick as
Okay.
fuck. I'll make my point. The simple fact that you were able to exist with that level of development and sentience, the fact that you can have an imagination. No other species has that kind of fucking exactly. But the fact that you can predict and picture things in your head in advance of things that you want to accomplish, that you want to fucking develop, that you want to be a part of your existence on a day-to-day basis or potentially meet at some point. The fact that you are able to do that in the limitless amount of chaos that formed our existence. Why aren't you nice?
Yeah, we're here. We're a thing.
Dude,
we're alive.
Be happy. Be fucking happy.
Because even in the large, chaotic, grand scheme of things, there's still order that was created.
Exactly.
At some point, order
came to be by itself.
The simple fact that you beat the odds, you beat let alone being born. Just the fact of being born.
One in a million.
Beat the odds of not being a fucking fly,
Yeah.
or being a fucking dung beetle,
Yeah.
or being
You're
a fucking
human.
parasite.
You're a person.
Yeah.
You have
You became a
sentience. You are an
thing.
apex predator.
You get to experience
You are
life.
the apex predator. I mean,
Dude,
honestly.
Yeah.
You get to experience this. The simple fact that we're able to sit here with these microphones and be able to talk shit and just rant about things to people that we might never fucking meet. The simple fact that we are able to do that is because of that sentience, because of that imagination. That we have these luxuries that a dog's not going to fucking
So
have.
stop being an asshole.
Exactly. Appreciate your existence. Appreciate the fact that you are able to experience what you're experiencing now, and just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Stop being an asshole 2020.
Stop being an asshole.
Hey, stop being an asshole all 2020.
2020.
This podcast has now become a Drake rant mix with philosophical talks.
This podcast is running for president.
Yeah. What we learned this week for 2020. Make sure to
Stop
vote
being
for
an
us.
asshole 2020.
Oh shit, I love it. Well, anyways, guys, this is a great one.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I enjoy our philosophical talks, and it makes me want to go read another philosophy book. Yeah, I love that shit. But anyways, we should probably cut this one here. We'll go do our live episode. We'll talk about some more fun stuff there. Thank you everyone for joining us. Make sure to go to our Patreon, patreon.com/WWLTW podcast. Help support us so that we can keep bringing you the great shit that we just brought you today.
Yes.
We have, we want more skits that we will be creating soon because we know you guys loved those. Make sure to go check out our merch channel. It's on Teespring. The link is in the description for everything that we have. We've got our #NotSponsored collection. We've got our regular What We Learned This Week collection. We've got coffee mugs even.
Dude.
With our mugs on it. With our mugs. No holes.
Except for that one.
Yeah, except for that hole right there.
It's just a display cup. Like there's no bottom to it.
We have, make sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube. I do want to point out our YouTube subscribers is a huge analytic that we need.
Huge.
So it's very big for us.
Huge.
It's big for
Huge.
helping this podcast grow and helping it go on. It's free for you to do. All you got to do is hit that little subscribe button. So we appreciate that as well. Other than that, I think that's it.
You know we love you.
Thank you very much for joining us again on another week of What We Learned This Week. And
now get the fuck
see you in
back
the
to
next one.
work. You've been on the toilet for
yeah,
like 40 minutes.
Gross. It's been a fucking
insane.
hour, and your boss is wondering where the fuck you went.
You,
This is
you probably have a pink
disgusting.
slip on your desk.
Oh,
so.
Jesus, you're probably got fired.
You're
Way to
done.
go. Good thing life doesn't matter. Anyways, thank you all very much. We'll see you next week. Bye.